Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here, and it is Tuesday the 18th of June. Thanks again for watching weatherweb.net. Brief reminder that we're kept free of charge by the adverts that you see around the screen here. And when you come back to the site and you use the site or use an advert, it's that generates the revenue that keeps us free of charge. So thank you for doing that. Now, you probably heard talk of this meeting at the Met Office today amongst scientists looking at the weird and strange weather that we've been experiencing over the last couple of years. Well, apparently weird and strange now constitutes heavy rain, cold winters and dry spells. Apparently that's unusual weather. Well, let me tell you folks, no it's not. And you see, part of the problem is that they keep linking this idea of extreme weather events, and I use the word extreme because that's what's used by them, back and or suggest that somehow it's linked to global warming and climate change. Well, actually, to be fair, they don't use the phrase global warming now. It's gone to climate change, like some big beast marauding across the land, this climate change. Well, climate change has always happened. Now, you'll know if you watch WeatherWeb regularly that I am neither a sceptic and I'm neither a pro-climate, human-induced climate change. What I do, I sit on the fence. I take account of all the evidence, take account of the facts, and make a decision based on that. It's very, very early stage research though, and I do think that we've well overcompensated for things, with taxes and with various other measures put in place, particularly when we don't know how this is going to pan out. I mean, one of the problems we've got, and I've said this to you before, is the fact that temperatures have levelled off, since the end of the 20th century. We've seen this levelling off of global temperatures. You can see it quite clearly there. So that wasn't predicted by any models, and the more years that this goes on, then actually the more awkward it becomes. I mean, there's absolutely no doubt that we saw rapid warming here during the last third of the 20th century. Absolutely no doubt about it at all. And it did go in steps. Look, we saw this step here through the middle part of the century, and again we saw this step up here during the early part of the century. But there's no doubt about it that we've seen this slowing down of warming. Now, as well, one of the comments I heard made in the interviews made on radio and television today was about the withdrawal of Arctic sea ice, the depletion of it, and its effect on the jet stream, and how it makes the jet stream meander. Well, look, the jet stream meanders. That's part of what the jet stream does. It's part of the weather pattern around the globe. If the jet stream didn't meander, we'd have no weather, and there would be no us. So the idea that jet stream meanders is exactly what you want it to do. And let's just look at this sea ice argument. Yes, we lost a lot of sea ice rapidly last year. The black line here is 2012 totals, and you can see, look, it really did plummet quickly during the end part of August. But so far this year, this is where we are. That red line indicates where we are. And the blue dotted line you can see here is the average from 1979 to 2006. And the reason it's only back to 1979 is because that's all we've got the records for. So you can see here that actually this year we're up at 2009 levels, which is just about joint the highest that they've been for some time. And it may just be this average has been taken during the early part of 1979, 1980, 1981, etc., when there may have been well more sea ice extent. It might just have been a period when there was more ice. But you can see here how, yes, we're below the average, but we're not that far below the average. And while we're on about it, what about the Antarctic? Well, let's just put that one to bed as well, because this solid line here, the solid grey line that goes up here, shows us the 1979 to 2000 average. The dotted line is 2012. The 2013 is here, is the blue line, and look, it's above average. So you see again this evidence from the weather machine of this balancing out. There's only so much energy available, and that has to be used in some way. You can't make it, you can't destroy it, so you have to do something with it. So because sea ice is decreasing at the North Pole, we're seeing an increase at the Antarctic. Well, it's not because of that, but we're seeing this balancing out. So you can see this here clearly, that the Earth is doing its job. You probably sensed it makes my blood boil, and I don't jump onto this climate skeptics bandwagon of they're all after us and it's all some sort of great con. But you've got to look at it in realistic terms and look at the facts and the figures and the statistics as they are. And it clearly shows that temperatures have levelled off. It clearly shows that, yes, we saw a deterioration in ice last year in the Arctic, but also that those records only go back to 1979. So I can't help thinking there's not an awful lot of job justification going on here. And, you kind of wonder, well, how on earth do you stop this slow-moving heavy train when you've got it pointed in one direction, and you've got to try and slow it down and reverse it and say, well, hold on, boys, we may not actually have been quite right. Anyway, we'll leave that for another video, but ranted on enough. Let's just take a look at what's going to happen over the next few days. You can probably see I'm exasperated by this one today, but let's just have a look and see how things pan out. This is today then. Got this warm front moving north, bringing in continental, warm and humid continental air. It's producing 1 or 2 showers across eastern parts of England just at the moment, but for most places it's dry. A few showers affecting western parts of Scotland, but elsewhere probably dry throughout this evening. Now, for Wednesday, this is the chart for midday on Wednesday, got a ridge of high pressure built in from the west. It does look as if Wednesday is going to be a very warm day across central and eastern areas. There'll be some showers developing, and I wouldn't be surprised to see this area of rain moving in during the course of the evening into the afternoon. So 1 or 2 thundery showers around to watch out for, but I think that for the majority of Wales, England, southwest England, northern England, southern Scotland, eastern Scotland and Ireland, it should be a dry day with some good sunny spells and very warm as well. Bits and pieces of showery rain affecting western parts of Scotland and the north of Ireland too. Winds generally are going to be on the light side. As I say, the main area to watch is down here towards the southeast. And then looking ahead into Thursday, this is the charts for Thursday, and you can see here that we've got an area of rain by then, look, through northern England, through parts of the Midlands, Wales and southwestern England, some of it quite heavy and possibly thundery, with another area moving here into East Anglia in the southeast. Now, difficult to pin down exactly where these are going to be, but I think what I would be saying is that across most of England and Wales, you're best off working on a rather unsettled day. Northern England, Ireland, generally dry across eastern Ireland, generally dry for northern England and western Wales, little bits of rain affecting western parts of Scotland and western parts of Ireland. On to Friday, and for Friday we go into more of a westerly flow. Now, this is going to produce much fresher conditions through Friday. We'll see rain perhaps across eastern coastal areas at first on Friday, but this will clear away. Watch out for some heavy rain across northeastern England, East Anglia and the southeast, but then we find sunny spells and showers following in from the west. The occluded front you can see here perhaps bringing some thicker cloud and some more prolonged spells of rain across western coast of Scotland, western coast of England, but generally some sunny spells for most. I think you've got to work on some showers though across many areas, although they'll tend to fade from the west for a time before we then see this next system moving in. That sweeps rain and strong winds eastwards during the course of the night. The rain stays across Scotland, down through Ireland, across parts of Wales and across parts of northern England during the course of Saturday. Some very strong winds down to the south, a very unsettled day, and gales across southern areas. And then into Sunday, low pressure is still with us, so it looks like being another windy day. I think there'll be a mix of sunshine and showers, some of them heavy at times, particularly in the west, although a tendency for these to fade during the course of the afternoon. Watch out for some more persistent rain for northern and eastern Scotland, and perhaps a little bit just running down these eastern coasts of England. But as I say, a windy day and a pretty chilly one as well. And that's all for now. Thanks again for watching weatherweb.net. I'm Simon Keeling, and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.